Hi, everyone. Welcome, welcome. I am so excited to have Margo on with us. She is one of our beautiful soul sisters. She's been part of our yoga psychology school and also our WISE Method Inner Circle. And I'm so grateful for her to take the time to be on with us today. And we're so honored to have her be part of our community. So do you want to just take a minute quickly, girl, to introduce yourself and then maybe talk a little bit about what brought you to WiseMind and, kind of what you were seeking when you started the program, what kind of brought you to it?
Yes. So actually, I'm actually 55 years old, and there's a point for me to telling you this. And have one daughter, and I live here in North Carolina. Can you hear me okay? Yeah.
I can hear you. I
Okay.
can hear you, but it's a little bit low, but it's okay.
Okay. So I am living here in North Carolina, and how I started reaching out to Jenny. I found I had a situation in my life that immediately I knew I needed emotional resilience. And how I knew that at the time was not only having some insight on what Jenny does with her programs, but also because I was showing a pattern that I thought I've healed. You know how you've grown, you've gotten better, you're wiser, and then all of a sudden something happens. In my case, it was with a family member, and the way I
Mhm.
reacted, it felt old. It felt like something I used to do, and I'm like, I don't do this, and I just cried out for some help, and I knew that Jenny does some type of work with emotional resilience plus some other things. And I said, you know what? I need some help. And I reached out to Jenny and I got just that, some help.
That's so funny. Uh, and I remember you and I have talked about this before. Um, like when you and I met years ago and how this has been, a multi-year journey because we knew each other back when I owned Wise Mind, Yoga Psychology, Meditation and Mindfulness Center in Cary. And I remember you and I sitting down, like when I used to have the little, private practice
Yes.
and sitting down in those two chairs and having a consultation. And you and I, had the conversation that at that point you were like in your healing journey, but like some of the, I guess, suffering for a lack of a better word, or, some of the patterns, like the pain from those patterns hadn't surfaced enough for you to be a yes.
Yeah,
And
right.
then, we just kept connecting, like you said, and you said you had followed me and just kind of kept in touch. And then I don't remember how we connected again. And then you were like, you know what? I am ready. I do want to go deeper into transformation and I am considering teaching. And so that's kind of how that just, resonated. So I know that there's like people listening to this that maybe don't know me at all, or there's students listening to this that have been watching on the sidelines like you did for years and following me. In fact, I just had a call with somebody last week who did join the Girl Let It Go inner circle, and she'd been following me for 4 years. Okay. 4 years.
Yes.
Okay. So the point is, I want to just say this for a minute because I encourage you and I invite you to not take 4 years or X amount of
7.
time to wait to do this, because one of the beautiful things that we do in this program, as I like to, one of the phrases I like to use is taking like 6 years worth of healing and transformation and turning it into like 6 months.
Yes.
And part of that is because it's a proven process and I've done it with hundreds of students. So I just want to drop that little seed, that little, hopefully, seed of inspiration or encouragement or motivation, that if you are one of those students waiting on the sidelines, like asking yourself, like, if you really need to be somewhere else in 6 months, like if your life needs to change in 6 months, or where would you be if you're in the same place in 6 months, right? So
Yeah.
if you are one of those people waiting on the sidelines, I'm going to send you this personal invitation. So do you want to take a minute, girl, and just kind of share too, like some of the common things, that students struggle with, right? They have self-doubt, they may not trust themselves, to go through the process. They might be struggling financially, figuring out, instead of it being a how, but an if.
Hmm.
So like working through that fear or that self-doubt of actually financially and time wise, right? Because it's an emotional, a financial, and a time commitment that they are worth, like that investment in themselves. So could you
Yes.
take a minute just to share about that and kind of what that process was like,
Yes.
for you to actually invest?
Definitely. I want to first say, you're worth it. I'm worth it. You're worth it. I didn't know I was worth it so many moons ago. I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
There's you're doubting. It's like, what's this program? What's happening? You get all kinds of thoughts, self doubt, and or just can I do it? Or even the money. Girl, if I wish I'd have done it a long time ago. I'm telling you, I wish I had done it a long time ago instead of heeing and hawing, being scared, all in my boots. Ooh, I don't know. I mean, girl, and you want to talk about healing in a short period of time. So yes, as Jenny said, I was on a healing journey, but that's 7 years in the making. I come to class for 1 year or less than a year, and my world opens up. Now, I'm just saying, I don't want to go back in the past, but all I'm saying is that if I just trusted myself,
Mm-hmm.
if I just trusted that God or the universe would help me myself,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I can see now I could have took it. I could have took it shaking in my boots because in the middle to the end, you will know why you did what you did. You free yourself. Not only do you free
Mm-hmm.
yourself, you align yourself to your most truest self. And there's no money that can buy that, you know. And
Right.
that's one of the things I learned. But let me add this little thing that I learned also when I came to Jenny Wise Mind or Wise Mind. I needed, as I said earlier, emotional resilience. But as I
Mm-hmm.
went through the class, guess what I found out? I wasn't even aware of what's happening in my body, how the emotions were trapped in my body and in my mind. I was totally unaware of it. And you
Mm-hmm.
might say to yourself, how can you be unaware? Trust me. If you're running every day in life, you getting this done, getting that done, you're not taking any time for yourself. Believe me, you can hide from yourself. You can deny a lot of stuff. And when I
Mm-hmm.
went through the program and start realizing that, hey, um, I went from the beginning of the program to the end. I opened up to awareness. How do I know this? I did the breath work. I did all the homework, and I feel now in my body when I'm any emotion. It doesn't have to be happy or sad, but any of the emotions that I have, I
Mm-hmm.
know when it's happening. So I have a choice. But I
Mm-hmm.
before I didn't I had no awareness, so I couldn't even stop the pattern. It was happening. I could see it, but I couldn't stop it. Why was that? That program, Wise Mind, just helped me a whole lot to discover me and align myself up with me, and to be a more open and just everything I want to be. I want to be jolly. I want to be not thinking about the past all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, I love that. I love the way you said that, because I think a big part of what people struggle with in making the decision and taking action, what I like to call soul aligned action, is they do second guess themselves and they don't trust themselves. And oftentimes it's not even necessarily about the money mindset. It's that they're not trusting themselves.
That's right.
And so I just invite you again to let go of the fear, let go of the self-doubt, let go of indecision, because we can do like a whole analysis paralysis, right? And go back and forth. And I say this because in my own journey with my coaching and my training and all the things that I've done, I've had to take soul aligned action, right? I've had to let go of fear. I've had to say, oftentimes, I may not have a solid plan of how I'm going to do this, but I will figure it out. And whether that was the time, whether that was the emotional investment, whether that was the financial investment. And I've talked about this before, when I did my training out in Los Angeles with yoga psychology, I didn't know for sure how I was going to pay the tuition, but I figured it out. I didn't know. All I knew is that I would figure it out, and God would, if it's meant to happen, he's going to give me those resources so that I can finish the training. And ultimately, obviously it all worked out, because here I am now teaching those yoga psychology skills to you and everybody else. And so I just invite you to tune into that, because whether you want to be a teacher or not, this program will be just an incredible personal transformation, right?
It
So
is
I
definitely.
would love to, on two quick things. One, if you want to share with someone who doesn't know me, right, what it's like to get on a call with me and what it's like to get on a consultation, because we're doing 15-minute consultations right now. And then if somebody needs a longer one, we'll set up a longer one. So I'll put the link in the comments to the Girl Let It Go Inner Circle. And the program that Marga, the WISE method, is part of that. And that's part of what Marga's in right now. And then also the WiseMind Soul Warrior Yoga Psychology School. So if you could just take a minute, girl, and just share, for those students that don't know me, who I am as a person, what I'm like as a teacher, and just like what it's like to get on a call with me.
So that's my pleasure. Jenny, if I may call you just Jenny, is that she is like a mentor you wish you had, right? Someone that can coach you, be your friend, but won't let you get away with your self doubt and
Mm-hmm.
going back into those negative vibes. She will help you pull you right on out of that. And I love that about Jenny. And also, when you get on a call, it's just like we're talking right now. It's no different. She is not different, than what you're experiencing right now. She's a lovely person. Her heart is for men and women to really grab hold to, healing themselves. And who wouldn't want to heal themselves? There's always some kind of baggage we have. And Jenny is right there in your corner. And I love that, about Jenny. So, make a call and let her know what's happening. And I guarantee that you would notice how she could pull out of you what's happening inside of you and help coach you or advise you how this program will work for you. And again, you can't put a price on that. The value is too great, on yourself.
Thank you, girl. Yeah, I'm really here to just have a consultation, a custom call, and you know, really just figure out, is this a good fit for you? Is it not? And it may be, or it may be not. But whether that's doing it on demand, whether it's doing it with a group mentorship, whether you're interested in a certification or personal transformation, or you might be even curious about one-on-one. So there's different levels of ways that we're supporting people this year. And so I'm just here to kind of have a call just to figure out, what are you struggling with? Where's the gap of where you want to go? What's holding you back? Identify these things and then figure out, this is a trauma informed program. So, there is a piece of that, right? So if you are somebody who, for example, has gone to talk therapy, that's great. This is going to take you deeper into your healing.